Okay, Vakina, I'm ready if you want to call it to order.
Okay, thank you. All right, call this meeting order for everybody that's tuning in. We're going to do a roll call.
Jim Whitaker,
Present.
Linda Barnhart, Eric Goff,
Here.
Vakina Norton,
Present.
Tim Lewis,
Present.
Dan Gant, Nick Deal,
Here.
Derek Smith.
Here.
Right, thank you. We do have one change on the agenda. That's correct, Heather?
That's correct. The public hearing for Inwood Retail Venture filed 10-20 request for waiver. That's been withdrawn by the applicant. They're actually now able to meet the setback requirements, so they have no need for the waiver.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the agenda with that amendment.
Move to approve, Eric Goff. Second, Derek Smith.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. We have the sunshine law speakers, Heather?
No sunshine law speakers this evening.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have the approval of the meeting minutes from our last meeting.
Move to approve, Eric Goff. Second, Jim Whitaker.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay. Then we'll go to item 7 on the agenda, which is the preliminary final plat approval.
Okay. This is a request for preliminary final plat approval. The project is Williams Preliminary Final, file number 54-19. Developer is Danny and Tina Williams. Surveyors Terry Placanica. Located in the Mill Creek District, map 13, parcel 33.23, southwest of Bunker Hill. This project proposes the creation of one 6.2 acre parcel and one 13.75 acre residue, which is currently served by public well and septic. There are no waiver requests for this project. County engineer Dirk Stansberry issued a letter of approval on April 15th, 2020, stating a review of the above mentioned project had been completed and the project was found to be in compliance with the subdivision ordinance. Since the project is found to be complete and compliant, staff recommends approval of the preliminary final plat.
Is anyone there to represent the project or online?
Terry, are you there? Terry had told us that he would try to call in, and if he had issues, he did give me his phone number. And if there's any questions for him, I could call him in separately on my cell phone.
Well, maybe I misunderstood when you read. Did you say it's under public water and public sewer, or private well and private septic?
It says public well and septic. That should be private.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's what I was wondering.
Not sure if we lost Vicana.
If there's no questions for Terry other than the one I had about the staff report, I move that we accept the preliminary final plat approval for the project.
Second, Eric Goff.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We may have lost Vicana. We still have quorum though, even if she's
Okay.
having trouble.
Okay.
So Jim, would you be able to facilitate? Is that appropriate?
I do not mind if that's, ask Andy real quick if he's there, if that'd be okay.
That's fine. Just let the record reflect also that Vicana didn't vote because she wasn't present.
Okay.
Correct. And if she resumes into the call, we'll give the gavel back to her. The next item, Heather?
Is a final plat determination for Cardinal Point. Would you like me to read the staff report?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's a request for final plat determination. The project is Cardinal Point, Section 1, Phase 2, lots 161 to 165, 178 to 181, and 274 to 303. It's file number 48-18. Developer is Panhandle Homes. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, tax map 19, parcel 11. The property is located along the north side of Hammonds Mill Road, west of St. Andrews Drive. And this phase proposes 39 single-family lots on approximately 17.8 acres to be served by public water and sewer. At the November 5th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting, Planning Commission voted to grant a waiver to allow 3 on-site parking spaces instead of 2 on-site and 1 off-site. At the September 16th, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, Planning Commission voted to grant a waiver to section 502.1 of the Berkeley County subdivision ordinance relating to the requirement of 2 points of access onto a public road or a West Virginia Department of Highway right-of-way for a development of 100 lots or greater. The approval was contingent on having bonding of Serena Drive encumbered by the authorized access road, no reduction and/or release of the surety on Serena Drive until the temporary serviceable road is built. On May 4th, 2020, County Engineer Dirk Stansberry issued a letter of completion and found the project to be in compliance. Since the final plat meets the requirements of the ordinance, staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the June 15th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting.
Okay, is there anyone there to represent the project? Do I see Steve on the line? Is this his project?
It is Steve's project.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Steve regarding the project? If there's no questions, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that we accept staff recommendations, recommending final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the June 15th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting. That's Tim Lewis. Second, Eric Goff.
Yeah, this is Nick. Second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay, the next item on the agenda.
is a request for final plat determination. The project is Amberfield, Section 6, Phase 1, lots 114 to 120 and 137 to 143. File number 54-18. Developers Highlands of the Potomac LLC. Engineers Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, map 14, parcel 11.15. Project's located on the west side of Kitchens Orchard Road, approximately 0.45 miles from the intersection of Grade Road. This project proposes 14 single-family residential lots on approximately 14.8 acres to be served by public water and private septic. At the January 7th, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted an exception to Section 705 to not install sidewalks. On February 21st, 2020, County Engineer Dirk Stansberry issued a letter of completion and found the project to be in compliance with the Berkeley County subdivision ordinance. Since the final plat meets the requirements of the ordinance, staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the June 15th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting.
Okay, we've heard the description of the project. Steve, is this one you represent also?
This is also Steve's.
Okay. Staff or members, is there any questions you have for Steve on this project?
I think he's asking to be unmuted. Steve is.
I'm unmuted now.
Oh, gotcha.
Good evening. This is Steve Sianovich, and just for future reference, I don't have a microphone on my desktop at work, so I look at the Zoom data via my PC, but I joined via telephone call. So you should see a 301-733-85 something number that shows as one of the folks that are listening in to the call. So I assume you could hear me now, correct?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, Heather. I just wanted to state that if there are any questions, I'll certainly do my best to answer them.
Okay, does anybody have any questions regarding the project? If there are no questions, may I have a motion, please?
There are no questions. I make a motion, we accept staff recommendations on final plat determination and advertising a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the June 15th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting. And that's Tim Lewis.
Second, Derek Cole.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Heather, next project.
Thank you, Planning Commission.
You're welcome, Steve. That was
Thank you,
the
Steve.
last of the projects. The final item on the agenda is the staff council discussion. We have activity reports for March and April for the planner review of all of the projects in the packet for your review. Also within the packet, we have a summary of items from the Ethics Commission regarding abstentions, recusing, and no votes. We've had several new people added to the Planning Commission, including staff members, and we haven't gone over these items for quite some time, so they were included in your packet for your review, and then we can keep it on the agenda even into the June meetings to see if we have any additional questions or comments or clarifications that are needed. So I just encourage everyone to take a look at that, and then we will work through any confusion as far as when it's appropriate and how it's appropriate to abstain and recuse, and there's no voting and reasons for that. And feel free to send those comments if you want to run something by Andy. You can just email me or call anyone in the office, and then we can make sure we get those questions to him, and then we can answer them during the planning commission meetings as well. And that's all I had on the agenda for this evening.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I'm very sorry. I don't know, it just totally kicked me out by the time I got in the gym. I'm sorry. Thank you. There was like 1.5 items left on the agenda, so I just didn't say anything.
Thanks for coming back on. I think we survived. Okay, does any commission members, do they have any questions or comments before we call for adjournment?
If not, I move to adjourn.
Motion by Eric. Do I have a second?
Second. Derek
All the-
Smith.
By Derek Smith. All those in favor, I would say hang up, but we'll say goodbye first.
Goodbye. Everybody have a good day.
Bye. You too.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.